This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm an entertainer. The one, the only ape father in the house, baby. Wow! I was just watching a video right now on Charles Gradante. This is a guy who's a Wall Street veteran, tremendous experience in the hedge fund industry. And, he's been talking out a lot about Ken Griffin, about the GameStop fiasco, and he's all for the retail investors. He's making us sound like we're very credible. I love this guy. I love him. And, he's pointing out all the corruption and the greed of the hedge funds and the manipulation. And this is the type of awareness the Ape Father gets very excited about. I love it. But then, a lot of YouTubers take things to another level. This poor guy's wife passed away in 2016. They said the police report was that it was a stroke, and there's all this talk going around the internet that at the same time Ken Griffin bought like that $200 million penthouse in New York City, and he was funding their big hedge fund event, and that he was obviously talking negative about Ken Griffin for a long time. Okay, and they're trying to almost make it seem like there was like somehow Ken Griffin was involved in his wife's death, allegedly. Look, I think that might be reaching. I read a lot of stuff on Reddit, and YouTube is. I think that might be reaching. But anyway, just the main point is that this guy is fabulous. All right, he's all for the retail investor. He's all for us, and he really makes a lot of points. Hey, let me show you this video really quick here. All right, baby, let's do it.
I mean, that retail holders of GME and AMC and the other stocks into submission, and they got a little greedy. And this usually precedes a major correction in the situation. And Reddit and Robinhood day traders saw an opportunity for the short squeeze. But let's be clear, the short squeeze was executed by the retail side, but it was created by the institutional side. The hedge funds created their own debacle. And that's a great segue into the concept of risk management. And in my mind, it's something I learned at Drexel Burnham is the most important aspect of money management. Picking stocks is a difficult game, but risk management is the most difficult, the most important. And greed usually trumps risk management. And we're getting back to the concept of how does a hedge fund get into a situation where they have to run to mommy and daddy for $3 billion to bail them out. Long-term capital, same situation. And at the essence of their issues, they had structural issues in their portfolio. We can talk about the Russian default in 1998, which led to the debacle of long-term capital. You can talk about other things with respect to the hedge funds shorting GME. But the bottom line is greed. They overshorted. They shorted so much of the stock that it didn't take too much of mediocre mathematics to figure out how to conduct a short squeeze. And black swan events usually precede a liquidity crisis. And this whole GME thing is really a liquidity crunch. We can talk about how many shares were so shorted, the entire float, which is evidence of the greed. I would never have a guy trading for me at Drexel Burnham wanting to short 100% of the float. And I find it just amazing. It's greed, it's avarice, it's hubris, it's all those things. And the GME was essentially a liquidity crunch to get the bottom line at the stock level with shorting the float, at the hedge fund level with being over levered and over devoted into one position. And at the broker-dealer level, Robinhood wasn't prepared for this. risk from a capital point of view. And on all three levels, we had a liquidity crunch, which resulted in the fiasco, and everybody was pointing the fingers at everybody else. And the hedge fund guys were saying, what the hell are retail guys coming up against us for? And the retail guys are saying, what the hell are you guys shorting the stock? It is worth more than $10. And then you have the broker dealer saying, do I have enough capital? Now, the bottom line of all of this is, and this is not the only solution, but it's one of the solutions, is that if they had same day settlement and clearing, the broker dealer would have known exactly what their risks were, and they would have had to shut down trading. So I'm sure they shut down trading for many more reasons than that. I don't have the facts. I have opinions, but I do know that if you pilloriate the facts, you will find out that trading on a T+2 basis results in a dilemma. I mean, the dilemma is the day traders are generating profits on a real-time basis. They're using those profits, they're plowing them back in, whether they're making them on the derivative side using options, or on the cash side using positions and stocks, and they're plowing those profits back into more positions. Meanwhile, those trades have not cleared and settled. The assumption is they will clear and settle, and you have the backing of DTC and the government behind that. But in reality, if somebody on the street is going to default, go into liquidity, all those trades get busted, and you have a domino effect. So it requires every broker dealer to take that settlement risk, and that's what we call it now, settlement risk, to a degree. And they couldn't, take it beyond what they did. Just as a backdrop from a commentary point of view, back in 1987, I was around when the crash happened. And those days it was T+5. So it took 5 days to clear and settle. And we had to shut down Wall Street for, I think, three days in order for the back office to catch up with the trading. So that is an anecdote. So you can imagine when you had T+2, and you had all this wild trading going on, and the hedge funds got into a frenzy too. Insurance companies and other things. So no one knew their balance sheet. The hedge fund wasn't sure of his balance sheet. The retail guys weren't sure of their balance sheet. Were they making money or losing money? And what was their margin? How much were they paying for the margin? And would the margin last? And would they be allowed to continue buying calls and all that stuff? So clearing and settlement is something that I haven't heard on CNBC. If anybody has heard that discussed, I'd like to hear what they've heard. But that to me is one area that I'd like to contribute that needs some work in the system. They have to get it down to same day clearing and settlement. And blockchain technology, in my mind, is the only way to go. Of course, it'll take a couple of years to do all this, maybe a decade. But that is the vision that the people running Wall Street should have for the environment when you're going to have real-time trading, you got to have real-time settlements.
Charles, that's great. You might not hear it on CNBC, but we're hearing it from you, Charles.
So that was a great display of what we need to do in the future. I know, like Lou discussed a lot of this, the liquidity crisis and the blockchains, and I was very disappointed in when Gary Gensler, his review of the whole GameStop fiasco, he made it seem like no harm, no foul. But just having a guy like, with this much respect in the industry and this much credentials in the industry, taking the retail side, I think it's great awareness for us. God bless him. As far as Ken Griffin being an accomplice of murder or anything like that, I mean, that might be stretching it. I know there's a lot of entertainment on YouTube, but definitely a lot of awareness with that. Thank you, Charles. God bless you. You are a wonderful man. The Ape Father loves you.